Living the life, living the life, living the life.
Please welcome our next guest now, a qualified dentist. Our guest has travelled to different parts of the world, giving people in need the dental care that they require.
That's right. Lebanon, Jordan and Sierra Leone are just some of the places our guest has travelled to, helping people in need in a very different way. Here to tell us more, please welcome Sadiya Ahmad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam.
Well, welcome to Living the Life, Sadiyah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Like, it's an extraordinary thing to have this skill, to actually dedicate yourself. Because I know so many dentists in my life, in my day-to-day life, the amount of hard work and dedication that goes into training and actually becoming a dentist. Never mind taking that skill to parts of the world where you're not going to benefit from it financially at all. Where did the idea come from to take the skill and take it to, some of the places that Asif just mentioned?
As I mentioned earlier, I've always wanted to do charity work, and not just sort of vague charity work or donations. I wanted to actually make a difference. And then it must have just been me looking online for opportunities to travel abroad. I'd seen one for the Maldives and whatnot. And then I came across a charity, a specific Muslim charity, that was doing one for Sierra Leone. And I thought, wow, Africa, like I'd love to go to Africa, a country that not many people would go to. And it just seemed, it had quite a raw, authentic vibe about it. And I thought, I'm going to go on that trip. And so I went. And I met a great group of people, and then I made friends with them, and then we decided to form a group and go every year to different countries. So,
that is. But so you meant so dentists, doctors.
Yeah. So the group that I went with, predominantly they were all American dentists. I was the only British one, and there was also one of my colleagues. He had a dental hygienist with him and some dental students. So it was all dental related pretty much, and we just made friends. And then we just did other charity trips together.
But then we've got some images as well here.
Let's take a look at some of your travels, and you can tell us. Oh, what's going on here?
Okay, so this is probably actually my most favourite day in all of my trips that I've done. We were in a little community centre in a town not too far from Freetown, Sierra Leone, and there was about 5 of us all performing dental treatment on the locals. And what was amazing is it was a Jummah, it was Friday, and you could hear the khutbah and you could hear the adhan while we were doing it, and it was just an amazing.
That's amazing. Like when you go to somewhere like Sierra Leone and you're helping underprivileged people most of the time, what are the most common dental issues that come up?
To be honest, it's due to the education or lack of education. A lot of them do have bad teeth because they've just overconsumed on sugar.
Sure.
So a lot of the time we are taking their teeth out. And to be honest, it's quite difficult for us to do other things like fillings or, prevention work while we're out there. We just have literally the equipment to deal with emergencies or pain and sort of deal with the acute things.
Fantastic. Well, we've got one last image that we'd like to just take a look at. What's going on here?
So
Miswak, I like that in the back. Miswak.
Yeah, of course.
That's the name of the charity that I went with originally. This is just basically just an example of how many people would be waiting for us. In Sierra Leone, there's only 5 registered dentists in the entire country.
Wow.
So it was actually a pretty big deal when we went. Apparently they advertised it on the radio. So people knew we were coming, and when we got to our first clinic, there were literally just lines of people that had travelled.
More than a Jummah, wasn't it?
That's extraordinary. I mean, like, because dental health I think, is one of the things that people generally are a little bit lax with, even in kind of development in the UK. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even like to admit when the last time I went to a dentist was. But what are the most common things that you come across when you're being a dentist here?
Here? Oh, everything. But
really?
People love sugar here, so there's a lot of cavities. It's very similar. I wouldn't say it's that different. People, as you said, don't have this attitude where they need to visit the dentist regularly, in particular maybe sort of ethnic people or people of our culture.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't really want you to do much when they do finally come. Even if they need to have it out, they don't want it out. They just want antibiotics.
Think about dentistry, don't they? Do you know what? I was with a friend of mine.
Freebie, please?
I was with a friend of mine, and we were speaking to an imam. And he actually said a question that blew my mind. I couldn't believe that he said this out loud to an imam. He said to the imam, he's like, Imam Sahib, tell me, are toothbrushes halal? He asked if a toothbrush is halal. It is, yeah. I'm just it is, right? It is, absolutely is. There's nothing wrong with using a toothbrush at all. If it's Ramadan, just do it before, But this is the kind of attitude that people have. In the South Asian communities, because we do have a big South Asian audience and an African audience who watch this show. What are your kind of top tips for, keeping your teeth healthy?
I would say please brush 2 times a day. I know you love sugar in your tea, but try to cut it down and stick to having your sugars around your meal times.
Can you rap or sing like the singing dentist at all?
I can't. You know what? My talents haven't
remove your
extended that
eyebrows as
far. I know.
Wow.
I'm quite envious of those eyebrows, but no, I can't. I can't sing like him. It's probably a good thing I don't.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think Miss Swag found it. It's a great idea. It's a great organisation, obviously, that you're travelling with. Are there any plans to do more of this kind of stuff going forward?
So yeah, inshallah. As I said, the group of friends that I made from the first trip, then we went on to Jordan and Lebanon, and we worked with the Syrian refugees in their camps, which is just eye-opening anyway. So I keep in touch with my American friends, and every year we plan a trip. Hopefully, it might be Greece this year. So we get a chance to go to the refugee camps there, inshallah.
What's your memorable moment?
From all of the trips?
Yeah, from all of the trips. One that really stuck. It was a favourite.
You know, I actually don't think I have one particular. I think it's just watching, in particular, the Syrian children, just watching their happiness, even though they're living in sort of dire circumstances. They're just so energetic, they're so happy. And actually, I would say recently on our trip to Jordan, me and my best friend who went, we raised some money, we bought some gifts, and we took it to an orphanage. And just their reaction, and just their welcome for us, actually, it makes me cry to think about it, because it was just so genuine and heartfelt.
Mashallah.
And these are kids that don't really have anything, but yeah.
Mashallah, that is lovely. It's wonderful. Some great advice there as well. Everybody watching it, twice a day, just brush your teeth. Just invest in those twice a day. Do you brush your teeth twice a day?
Yep, I do.
Excellent. Me too.
Well, no.
Me too.
And the kids. If you're watching, make sure you brush your teeth.
There you go, before you go to bed as well. Would you go to Bangladesh?
Yeah, why not?
Fantastic. Would you photograph people getting their teeth cleaned in Bangladesh?
Yes.
Sequel in the works.
Absolutely.
The Bangladesh Dental Diaries. There we go. There we go. We just came up with an idea. Listen, thank you so much for joining us, Sadiyah. Stick around. We'll find out some more about the work and how people can get involved and learn a little bit more about dental hygiene. Now, obviously, we're quite privileged. For whichever angle, I mean, you can both, listening to the both of you, we know this. Whichever angle we look at it, we're all very privileged living in Britain with access to so many facilities. Alhamdulillah. We have so many things. How important is it for us to take the skills and the benefits we have in there and go and contribute to other people outside who are less fortunate?
I think it's so important. I think, especially if you have a certain passion or a certain set of skills, then you can't just use them for yourself. You have to use them for people. If you know you're privileged, you have to help people that aren't as privileged.
Sadiyah, next country. Where's your next trip?
For dental work?
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah, hopefully Greece. There is a charity as well called Dental Aid Network that's based in the UK as well, and they do trips every year to Palestine. I believe they help disabled children as well with their dental work, so possibly that one as well.
Fantastic. And if people want to find out more about the work, support it maybe, because it sounds like a very important thing. Again, something we downplay in our community. We shouldn't. Teeth are very important, dental hygiene very important. How do people support this cause?
Well, if they want to support Dental Aid Network, you can find them online. And also the charities that I've been out with to Jordan and Lebanon is SAMS, which is Syrian American Medical Society. And a great one is Quran Foundation, where they actually get money to the right places. And
also one more note on dentistry. For the people watching that want to want to make a start today about taking better care of their teeth, and they want to get some information, maybe just get some little tips is there any way you'd point them in any direction?
To be honest, there's so much on the internet, but even if you just look on a simple NHS website, it will give you the most basics that you need to know about looking after your mouth. And really, that's all you need is the basics.
Brushing your teeth, basically. Yeah. How long for?
Well, as long as it takes for them to feel clean, but not too long, not too long.
Living the life.